Reading and Interpreting Statutes, Topic 5. Dear student, let's practice. Steps 1 and 2. Dear student, welcome to the Law School Playbook. I'm Hallie Hara, a professor of academic success and personal skills coach to law students and attorneys. I'm glad you're here. In this episode, we will be focusing on steps 1 and 2 of reading and interpreting statutes, which we know are to slow down, step 1, and determine how the statute fits into the big picture by looking at surrounding statutory materials, step 2. To do so, consider the following facts. In 2016, a commercial airline pilot named Sean Fitzgerald showed up for work rip-roaring drunk. He was set to fly that morning, so he readied a jet for takeoff. More specifically, Fitzgerald conducted a walk-around safety check before entering the cockpit, where he calibrated the altimeter, programmed the flight management system, turned on the auxiliary power unit, and requested flight clearance from air traffic control. Fitzgerald's co-pilot realized he was intoxicated and alerted airline executives, who in turn notified local law enforcement. Before the passengers boarded, Fitzgerald was arrested and charged under 18 U.S.C. Section 342, which makes it a crime to operate a common carrier while intoxicated. The language of that statute provides, whoever operates or directs the operation of a common carrier while under the influence of alcohol or any controlled substance, as defined in Section 102 of the Controlled Substances Act, shall be imprisoned not more than 15 years or fined under this title, or both. Assuming any of the roles here, counsel for Fitzgerald, counsel for the government, or the judge, the first thing we need to do if we want to read and interpret this statute is to slow down and avoid painting with a broad brush. So now that we have reminded ourselves to slow down, step 1, next we will endeavor to determine how this statute fits into the big picture, step 2, by looking at the table of contents and the surrounding sections. We will also look for a section that defines key terms. When I do that, I learn that the previous section, 18 U.S.C. Section 342, is indeed a definition section. It reads, as used in this chapter, the term common carrier means a locomotive, a rail carrier, a sleeping car carrier, a bus transporting passengers in interstate commerce, a water common carrier, and an air common carrier. Here, there seems to be no dispute that the facts involve an air common carrier because we know that Fitzgerald is a commercial airline pilot. The section that follows is Section 343 is Section 344, which is also of interest because it contains presumptions. It provides, for purposes of this chapter, number 1, an individual with a blood alcohol content of 0.10% or more shall be presumed to be under the influence of alcohol, and 2, an individual shall be presumed to be under the influence of drugs if the quantity of the drug in the system of the individual would be sufficient to impair the perception, mental processes, or motor functions of the average individual. Because the facts tell us that Fitzgerald was intoxicated, we are interested in A, which tells us that for purposes of this law, Fitzgerald needed to have a blood alcohol content of at least 0.10%, 0.10%. We are now armed with knowledge before breaking the statute down as required by Step 3. Tune in to the next episode and we'll see how to do that. If you would like to read this episode, get suggestions for further reading, or to request individual coaching with me, please visit my website at www.lawschoolplaybook.com. As always, do your best, and I'll be rooting for you.